Hope everyone's safe at home, keeping social distance and washing your hands often. But anyway, that should not, the virus and its infestation should not be a problem for our civil service preparation. So, CAP is bringing you online classes so that you don't miss out on your preparation. So, today we are having our class on government interventions from the month of November to February, and we will be covering these government intervention current affairs in two parts. That is, one in social sector and the other government intervention dealing with economic sector. So, let's see the government interventions that have featured in the news in these months and are related to social sector. So, we have a few schemes there. So, we will see one by one. So, the first scheme that we are going to discuss is the National Rabies Control Program. So, National Rabies Control Program, its plan is to eliminate rabies infestation in humans. So, the plan started its operation during the 12th 5-year plan, and it's still continuing, and it's being implemented by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So, you guys must be knowing about the rabies infestation and the rabies virus. So, it's a zoonotic disease, that is, the host of the virus are warm-blooded animals. Warm-blooded animals like dogs, bats, cats, yeah. So, such animals would be hosting the virus, and the virus would be infecting humans through contact with the saliva of these animals, these infected animals. So, the virus spreads through saliva of the infected animals, and the infection can be caused by any warm-blooded animal, and also animals found in both domestic as well as wild host these viruses within themselves, and it stands a chance to infect humans. So, that much you need to know about rabies infection, and in particularly in the case of India, most of the rabies infection, almost 97% of the rabies infection happens through dog bites and through contact with dog's saliva. So, that's the case with in India, and 2% of these infestations happen from cats, and the rest 1% from other sources. So, rabies is a major infectious disease in India. So, the government is trying to control its spread through the National Rabies Control Program. So, the program basically aims at training, surveillance, laboratory strengthening and advocacy. So, the scheme lays its focus on human resource development to control the spread of rabies virus. So, human resource development to control the spread of rabies viruses. So, funds are mainly used for training of health workers to intervene in treatment of rabies infestation, and surveillance, the disease prevalence and the prevalence in the animal, the animal population, the population of dogs. So, that's what is meant by surveillance. So, all the instances of the occurrence of these infestation in humans as well as in animals would be recorded and properly monitored, so that the spread of the virus can be controlled. So, and laboratory strengthening and advocacy works are being done in the National Rabies Control Program. So, important thing to note, there is no funding for acquiring rabies vaccines in this program. So, that's an important point that you need to know. The scheme basically focuses on human resource development and institutional strengthening, but not on vaccination. So, that's an important point to be noted. And as we have discussed in the previous class, we have discussed about the One Health approach. So, One Health approach, that is a concept propounded by the World Health Organization. So, One Health approach, it basically talks about how in order to maintain human health, we need to intervene into other related sectors like animal health as well as plant health and manufacturing of packaged food material. So such a holistic intervention needs to be done under one health approach in order to save human beings from infectious diseases and disease infestation. So that's one health approach, and it is relevant in the National Rabies Control Program also. So it's relevant in National Rabies Control Program also, one health approach. That is, the National Rabies Control Program has two components. One which deals with humans and the other dealing with animals. So interventions are being done in human health as well as in animal health. So, and these are done by two separate bodies. So that also needs to be noted. So the human component of the National Rabies Control Program is undertaken by the National Center for Disease Control, and the animal component by the Animal Welfare Board of India, and each of these components has its own interventions. Like the human component has, like I said, training of health professionals and implementing the use of intradermal route. So like the anti-rabies vaccine, it is administered dermally, that is into the skin. So training for such things are being provided under the human component. Also surveillance of human infestations as well as education communication to make the people aware of such an infection happening and things like that. And there is also the laboratory strengthening component to test for infections and aid in surveillance. So that's there. Then there is the population survey of dogs, that is in the animal component. So in the animal component, what happens is the population control, population survey as well as population control. So you must have heard of sterilization happening in street dogs and such things. That is part of National Rabies Control Program also. So the sterilization schemes, also mass vaccination of dogs is also being done to a limited extent. One thing to note is that the animal component of the National Rabies Control Program, it is happening only in states of Haryana and Chennai. These are the only states where the animal component is currently being implemented. So that was the National Rabies Control Program. It's a program by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It started in the 12th, from this 12th 5-year plan, and also it's still continuing, and it mainly deals with information, education and such things in the human component. There is also an animal component, and the animal component is implemented by the Animal Welfare Board in 2 states in a pilot project, and the human component that is being implemented by the National Center for Disease Control.